Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about some of the ways that I dealt with and overcame anxiety. This is part one of a two-part series that I'll be doing, so tune in tomorrow for part two. But for today, I'll give you a bit of a background on my story and then we'll get into the top tips on how to cope with stress and anxiety. So I was going through really old iPhone notes that I made back in 2012 and it reminded me of exactly what I was going through. I would take notes on all the physical sensations and physical pain I was experiencing each day so that I could show my doctors and ask them if I should worry about any of these symptoms that I was experiencing. I used to have debilitating anxiety that interfered with living a normal life and doing the day-to-day things I wanted to do. I was obsessed with figuring out if what I was feeling was just anxiety or if it was an illness like a tumor or deep vein thrombosis, infection, blood clots, or whatever else I thought it could be. I just had to be sure. Turns out every single physical pain I experienced was caused by anxiety and stress. And I spent a lot of money on medical tests and different therapies to find that out. So I'm making this video for anyone who also suffers from anxiety or depression in hopes that it can give you hope and aid you on your journey. I was diagnosed with anxiety in 2011. However, I also experienced symptoms of both depression and anxiety as a teen as well. I just didn't know what it was at the time. In just 2 years after being diagnosed, I was able to overcome anxiety to the point that it was no longer debilitating and I no longer had panic attacks. Now I live comfortably with anxiety as a tool which allows me to know if there are suppressed emotions and fear that needs to be addressed. I turned anxiety from something I couldn't understand to a helpful tool that I actually appreciate and can use to benefit me. So first, in going forward, I want to be clear that I'm not a doctor, and these tips I will be sharing with you come from my own journey and are tools that truly helped me to not only sit with anxiety, but to overcome fear as well. I also want to be clear that these tips do not aim to ignore or avoid your emotions. In fact, it's mostly the opposite. So my number one tip in coping with anxiety is to gather tools in your toolbox. I'm dedicating this entire video to this one tip because it was such a huge help to me and I still use these tools to this day to cope with the stress of living life. This can be a huge variety of tools that are specific to you. Ask yourself, what are some things I can do right now that can get me moving towards recovery? Here are 8 tools that I use in overcoming anxiety. You can use some or all of these, and what works best will be different for everyone. My number one tool in my toolbox is breathing techniques and meditation. You can find many techniques for free all over the internet. Just try out different methods and choose one that you like the most. Number 2 in my toolbox is exercise. Just get moving, and preferably out in the sun and in nature if you can. This helps to activate and balance hormones and has a myriad of other health benefits. Number 3 in my toolbox is eating clean. This also helps to balance hormones and thus balances mood. What I mean by eating clean is a general term for eating mainly foods that come in their whole form, such as real vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, grains that are in their whole form like rice, oats, quinoa, all that good stuff, sustainably raised animal meats and products that are traditionally processed, and healthy fats, of course. This could be a whole video series in and of itself, so let's move on to tool number 4, which is make sure you have access to your doctors and specialists for when you have questions that worry you and keep you up at night. Nothing used to cause me more panic than waiting for the next morning when I could call my doctors and ask them questions or get in for an appointment immediately. Even if I did have to wait until 8 o'clock in the morning to call, just knowing they were there at certain times helped put my mind at ease. Number 5 in my toolbox is relaxing distractions, because sometimes we just want a little bit of distraction. For me, this means music, anime, movies, books, video games, and writing. Number 6 is pamper yourself. With baths, a comfortable place to sleep, body work like Bowen therapy, massage, or chiropractic care, maybe even a haircut or a manicure. Let me know in the comments below how you like to pamper yourself. Number 7 is school. School was a great way for me to keep myself feeling like I was being productive, and it also provided me with a creative outlet as well. And this can also be in the form of appreciating your job or your career. Number 8 is getting support from family, friends, doctors, teachers, church, the internet, whomever. Get support from whatever community, big or small, that you're involved in. If you don't have a lot of support right now, create that support or get involved in a supportive community of your choosing. Start to surround yourself with people and communities that support your best interests, and maybe you can offer them support in return. So that's it for now. Those are my top 8 tools in my toolbox, which I can grab from anytime to help me cope with the daily stress and anxiety of life. I hope this was helpful to you. Please like and share this video to anyone you think might benefit from these tools. And please stay tuned for tomorrow, because I will be posting a part 2 to this series, which you'll learn my top 3 tips on how to start overcoming anxiety. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.